Hello everyone, this is Noemi Banchi from Sydney. From Valley Heights, near Sydney, 70 kilometers away from Sydney, in New South Wales, Australia. And today we are in a festival, Easter festival. And we are going to talk about, we are not going to talk about eggs or cross buns. No, we are going to talk something a little bit different. The purpose. And I was thinking before, why do we speak about it? Well, that is the good question, actually. It's good when we talk about topics that during that conversation, because this is just a talk, nothing more, nothing less, nothing more than that. And when we talk, then through this conversation, we may clarify some things. I will start saying that although this is a religious topic, and the content of this is not just about one religion. It's interesting to say a word that when we talk about religions, we miss, not we, because if we know, that is the thing, if we know the meaning of the words, well, that is something that might clarify the things. And the first thing is religion means union. And it's quite opposite, because every religion has different things, different rituals, if we can say rituals, or anything, different habits, but at the end of the day, religion means union. And that union is regarding you with God and you with other beings. So I hope this is to clarify about the meaning of Easter. I don't think of this as just a religious topic. And let's get started. So, every Easter full moon celebrated in April is dedicated to receiving the forces of the resurrection and restoration of the universal good flame. So why Easter? Why Easter in April? Or why Easter in this particular time of the year? Well, this is related to the full moon. Every full moon is a special moment for the Earth. Why? Well, astronomically, the Earth is between the Sun and the Moon. So is that particular time that the Earth is illuminated by the Sun during the day and by the Moon during the night. So, in other words, it's the time when Earth receives more light. That is straightforward. Well, but as above, so below. In this particular time is when let's say that we are more likely to be we are more likely to succeed in our projects, in our plans, to achieve our goals. That is one thing. In metaphysics, we don't worship moons, but this is why we celebrate Easter in this particular time. Is the first well, is related to the moon of April. The full moon of April. Okay, that is one thing, and is connected with. So this is the full, yes, for that reason is Easter, the full moon of April, and is obviously is very, very connected with Master Jesus. And, well, it's not for Catholicism only. Why? Because when Jesus was born, he was a Jew, and he wasn't a Catholic. So he also celebrated Easter. And at some point, some people are waiting for the second to do. They are waiting for someone. No, they are waiting for the second, the Christ to return. And Jesus Christ, so they are waiting for someone to come back or someone to come. And, well, they're still waiting. And they will still waiting and waiting and waiting, because there's no one who is coming, it's just you. Jesus, Master Jesus, taught, I am the resurrection and the life. And this is something that he learned in India from his master, his gurus in India. So for that reason, the first thing is stop waiting. Stop waiting for miracles that will happen, because nobody will come. The whole meaning of the second Christ coming or something like that is just realize that you're not just human. You're a human being, and that part of you is your consciousness, is your soul, is your perfect part of you, you are light. So when you say I am the resurrection and the life, means that you have potentially all the virtues. You can manifest what is the best for you, good things, by saying I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. When Jesus learned that, it's not like the second day he just ascended. He learned that when he was a very, very young, let's say, and he went to Egypt. So he learned in Egypt, and his master was Serapis Bey. Serapis Bey taught him how to use this resurrection and life. There's also a story about these years when we don't know anything about Jesus' life or what happened. So when he went to India, and his master also was Maitreya. And Maitreya, when Jesus came to the meeting, like Maitreya was in his ashram. Ashram is the place where a guru is with his disciples. And at that time, imagine, Maitreya knew that Jesus was there, but he didn't say anything about him. He didn't say, "Hey, Jesus, come, let's have a coffee or something." No, he was just in meditation. And when Jesus came, he sat at the feet of his master, like every other disciple. And Maitreya didn't speak too much. He just said those words: I am the resurrection and the life. And that Jesus heard that, and he said, okay, I'm not going to learn by intellectually. I'm going to embody this. I am the resurrection and the life. And that's it. So he turned back to Jerusalem again and start his work. So he started practicing with birds. So when he found a dead bird, well, he just picked the bird in his hands, and he just said, I am the resurrection and the life. Opened his hands and the bird flew. And then he practiced this with his friend Lazarus. And a lot of stories. And then he finally, at a well-known momentum, when he just resurrected. And this is what we are, of course, celebrating today. So, in order to you practice this, you're not going to say in one go, I am the resurrection and the life, and then you just ascend it. It didn't work like that for Jesus, imagine. So we need to say those words. This is a decree, and in order to manifest something, we need 4 things: mind, feelings, words and actions. I am the resurrection and the life of my health. I am the resurrection and the life of my prosperity. I am the resurrection and the life of my happiness. I am the resurrection and the life of my intelligence. What you can practice this. There is no recipe for that. It's not that many times that you can say or at this time during the day. It's just as you feel to say. Now, when we learn these decrees, I am the resurrection and the life, I have to say that there is a story about a man, and you know the open sesame, the story about open sesame. Well, if the person, instead of saying open sesame, said sesame open, do you think that it will work? No, it wouldn't. Or if he said open sesame sesame, do you think it will work? No, it wouldn't. So when you learn a decree, just say it as it is. Don't try to change. Don't try to, oh no, because for me it's better if I'm saying in a different way. Please. This is what he did, and this is what we learn. I am the resurrection and the life. And then you can add what is specifically my health, my prosperity, yes. But this is the decree. Don't try to change it. It is what it is. Okay. Easter. After escaping Egypt. We are not talking now about Jesus anymore. No, this is before Jesus, after escaping Egypt, the Jewish people started celebrating the day of their liberation known as Easter. Okay, and all these stories started many years ago, with Moses. Right. And what happened? Well, Moses wanted to liberate Jewish people from what? What? From slavery. Egypt in Pesher technique means mata. Everything that slaves someone can be illness, can be poverty itself, can be anything that makes you suffer. So all the process was, okay, in this particular time, Moses was able to help Jewish people to liberate themselves. Now, Jesus knew that particular moment, so he deliberately used this time to do the Last Supper, when he shared with his disciples. But he also said, repeat this up after me. So and this is what 2,000 years later we still do. Sharing food, sharing the bread, and sharing the drink. The grape juice, it wasn't wine. With everyone. Everybody is able to. At that moment, do you think that Catholicism existed? No. When Jesus was talking, he was talking to everyone, not just a particular religion, not just a particular race or a particular group, to everyone. Because, and the word, it's again, Catholic means universal. Well, talking about words, Easter, let's have a look. Easter means Pesach. In other words, Passover. So Passover from slavery, from suffering to liberation. And Easter means coming out of evil, oppression, suffering, conflict, want, and sickness. And that is the blessing that Easter brings. That is important. That we pass over all these things to get rid of this suffering and be released by positivation. Positive, being positive. The first, and this is the first goal of metaphysics, being positive. Positive, if we think of the meaning, you see is the line, the horizontal line with a vertical line. Means all negativity we transform into something positive. So that illness will become healthy. That lack of money will become prosperity. That Dislike will become love, understanding. That ignorance will become sorry, intelligence. All right. So, and do you need to wait for someone else? No. You can do this on your own by saying how, because this is interesting. I bless the good in this situation. If you have to do something that you don't really enjoy, well, I bless the good in this situation. If there is something at work that you don't really like, this is the part that you don't really like about your job, I bless the good in this situation. If you need to clean, if you need to cook, if you need to do something at home, I bless the good in this situation. And if you are in a really bad situation, like something like, oh, but what kind of good can be in this situation? Well, you can again bless the good in this situation, because as yin and yang, there is always good in everything. Remember that when God created the world, he said that the world is good. In the world there is good. So there's always good. The thing is, if you are able to see it. Well, if you don't see it, you can bless. Why? When we bless something, we are multiplying this thing. If I say, I bless your inner self, if I bless your intelligence, I bless your prosperity, I'm multiplying this in you. I bless the good in this situation means that I want to multiply goodness in that situation. And if you cannot imagine how far you can reach by saying this decree, I bless the good in this situation. For example, let's see examples. What can you think at the moment? Oops. For example, I imagine that someone with an appearance of illness. I bless the good in this situation. Someone with an appearance of lack of money. I bless the good in this situation. Someone with they want, what else can be? Someone who wants to find a lover, a company, someone else. Okay, I bless the good in this situation. Every time you are not happy, well, think of this, because you were born to be happy. There is no time to be sad, to suffer, to be alone and crying in a corner. Not anymore. Now it's time to be happy. Life is only one. Just live it. Okay. And you know how? By saying, I bless the good in this situation. Now, in terms of Jesus, he is a model student in terms of spirituality. Why? Well, because his life shows us different aspects that every student sooner or later will live. will experience. So one of the things is his life has 5 moments in which are represented the 5 initiations. An initiation is an expansion of state of consciousness. Is when someone realizes something. And the first moment is when he was born, his birth, and this is the moment when someone awakes to spirituality, and this is the moment when you realize that you realize about your inner self, your I am presence, your consciousness, and your personality composed of thoughts or your physical, vital, emotional, and mental sheaths. So that is the first initiation, which is the bird. The second initiation is the baptism. And if you see it from the birth to the baptism, the second initiation, there is a few years. It's not just the next day. And this is when the Holy Spirit descended into Jesus. The third initiation is transfiguration. And this particular this is a painting by Raphael. Transfiguration is when Jesus became transparent in terms of his physically, emotionally, mentally. And he was expressing his inner self as it is. Christ crucified. This is the painting by Velázquez. And the particularity of this initiation, as you see around the picture, is renouncement. Is when you quit of something, but in a good way. It's not like, oh, you're going to suffer because, oh, you're going to suffer. No, it's with the good, when you feel good after quitting. And the picture shows that by the black background. It's amazing because it's just the loneliness, but in a good way. Lonely, not the sad loneliness, like, oh, I'm alone. Is the good loneliness. When you, for example, your kids grew up, you have nothing else to do, and then you can dedicate your time, your free time, to a spiritual teaching, for example, metaphysics, is when you are retired and you are not required at work. Then you can focus on spirituality, for example, metaphysics. What else is when, for example, your partner is gone. Is gone not just because they went to somewhere else, maybe they passed away. Well, this is a good opportunity that life gives you to focus on you. Is this spirituality? And then the fifth initiation is ascension, is what we are celebrating today. And this is important because sometimes we just stop, or we think, oh, how much in some ways, how much Jesus suffered. No, just it's not about suffering anymore. It's just about ascension, happiness, achieving your goals. Live! Live, actually. Ascend. If you are depressed, ascend. If you need money, be prosperous. If you are ill, well, heal. And so on, so on, so on. And those particular moments of Jesus' life, they yes, in a specific moment, well, all these things happen in one place. No, all this, but for example, the birth, Jesus' birth, was where? Here you see in Bethlehem. Yeah, this is a church, and within the church there is a stone in which, let me show you a little bit bigger. Okay, and this is, yes, this is Noemi touching, yes, there in Bethlehem, Jerusalem, Palestine actually. Okay, Palestine. Well, this one, do you know, this is the place in so this is a place where Jesus was baptized by John the Baptist. Yeah, well, the thing is that the Jordan River, moved during 2,000 years. So it's not actually the Jordan River where it's at the moment. It's just this part, and this part is in Jordan. So you need to go. And this is my photo. I took this photo of this place in Jordan. You need to go with someone because it's not free, and yeah, it take a while. But this is the place. This one is Transfiguration, and it is happened in Mount Tabor. Mount Tabor in Jerusalem. Yep, in Israel. The Holy Sepulchre Church, and this place is, oh my God, a lot of things happening inside there. Well, now there is a church, well, but once upon a time was Mount Golgotha, and the Mount Golgotha is where Jesus was crucified, and well, you can go and see the place, and also where he was resurrected. Everything is very close there, and this is the place in Jerusalem where Jesus ascended, and there is a stone there where is melted because Jesus became well, he you can see the stone, you can touch that stone, and there is the mark of the feet, Jesus' feet, on the stone in that moment when he disappeared. Well, so all of these things that I have done, you shall do. This is Master Jesus says. Do you think it's too much? Would you give it a go? Some of the things people like to think Oh, but Jesus was the Son of God. He was special. I am just a simple human being. What can I do? That is, you are in your comfort zone and you don't want to get out of that. But Jesus said, all of these things that I have done, you shall do. You, in modern English, you can do, you shall do. Wherever you are, whoever you are, even though if you are not Catholic, you can do this because it's for everyone. Sooner or later, everyone will go to the same path. This is the way. There is no excuses to say, oh, Jesus was special. No, because he says all these things that I've done, you shall do. There is nothing, for example, just to give you an example. Think why you do things, not by what is the word I want to say? If I remember, I was thinking of that. Not because everyone does. Oh yes, this is what everyone does, I will do. Just think of, this is what I want to do. Think. Think what you want. Use that gray matter within you. Okay, so in a nutshell, Easter activates 7 powerful energies. The resurrection flame, the restoration flame, we talk about it by using the decree. God's love, the living Christ, which is within you, your perfect part, the perfect part of you is your living Christ. What is the thing about Christ? And let me explain that Christ is a word which means anointed. It's not just Catholic. Anointed means everyone have a Christ, or Christ is the consciousness of you. So you are a human being with virtues, and that is like, okay, and you need to be aware who you are. That consciousness may allows you to realize who you are. So that is the living Christ. We can call inner Christ, we can call inner self, we can say soul, we can say consciousness. We are talking about the same thing. The name is not the thing. Well, one other energy is the planetary unity. Well, Jesus ascended, and then what? He disappeared? No. You might not see him, but he didn't disappear. He is still alive. This is all about ascension, isn't it? Well, he is now working as an angel Mika. Angel Mika, is the angel of unity. I should show you the image, because the image worth more than 1,000 words. He opened his hands, he's opening his hands to everyone. And this is all about this ista. Be open to everyone. Now, be aware that you might reject not people, their attitudes. But if you, from today, you think of that person that you are not get along, you dislike that person, well, you can think of that perfect part in themselves, which is their inner self or inner Christ, and bless him. You will not reject the person. Jesus did that with the woman, when the people try to judge her and say, Jesus, what do you think about this lady? And he said, okay, who has no sin come through the first stone. And nobody was able to do that. And when Jesus was alone with the lady, he said, nobody judge you? Neither do I. And that's it. So, the other energy is the acknowledgement of the spiritual hierarchy. Well, we talk about Jesus. You might be familiar with him. And Jesus as a model world disciple. Like we talk about his 5 moments in his life, which represent the 5 initiations. And that everyone will sooner or later experience. And the Great Invocation. Well, with the Great Invocation is something like the Tibetan says, this is a master, and he knows about all these festivals, and he says that every full moon is a must. Let me tell you that it's a must to say the say the Great Invocation. Why is a must? Because around the world, so many people talk about different things, especially on social media. That is good that at least we spend a few moments to invoke for light. In other words, is when you see this sun, the sun is bright, expands light. This is what Earth should do, the same. On the Earth, well, we are part of the Earth, so let's do it. That's it. The Great Invocation. All right, so we can do this together. I'm going to read the title and then let's start. Remember, we can do this daily, but especially every full moon. Okay, the Great Invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door with evil doers. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Thank you, Father. Thank you for being here today. And, well, happy Easter. And this is a different Easter. And see you next week. Bye for now.